In the modern AI world, tools are gone, teammates are in. You're going to hire agentic agents, and they will be salary-based employees in your company. AI pricing is absolutely broken. The market's separating into builders and buyers. To manage costs, companies are going to be developing more in-house LLMs. I'm tired of ABM. We need to move beyond that kind of concept. And if you stop there, you've lost. And I do think too many of us have stopped there. What I've been seeing work now more is, I think, an evolution of ABM. I'm starting to see the power of signals with the power of an execution layer come together. We're moving towards this idea of a real teammate type economy. You don't rent a tool anymore. You hire the cloud employee.
You're looking great.
God damn, are you ever?
Yeah, man. God damn it, you're so handsome. This is terrible for the rest of us. I mean, particularly
Gabe's
me,
in a time capsule, and Craig and I are like in the normal capsule where we just.
Do you have a cryo chamber?
Yeah.
Like,
Matt,
what is
dude,
happening?
Matt, it's been a long time, dude. How the
He's
heck are you?
ignoring us.
Seriously.
He's like, who's this old man? Oh shit, it's Matt. From ABM to PLG, from Medic to MedPick, the world of business is constantly evolving. We'll cover the who, what, where, when, why, and most importantly, how you get the transaction. I'm Matt Amundson, and he's Craig Rosenberg. Let's get started.
By the way, guys, before we start, congratulations to Gabe. He just had another kid.
Way to go.
Congrats. This was baby number 5.
Cool.
5 boys. So.
It's amazing.
This guy with the 5 boys, my goodness.
5 boys is nuts, dude.
It is nuts. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking.
Well, just take it. Actually, this is an interesting thing, because if for the LDS guys, you have 5 boys, you're looking at 25 grandchildren minimum. I mean, that's a lot, dude. You're gonna have to. Hopefully, this next one will get you some more.
We're trying to. Yeah, this is like biblical. Multiply and replenish the earth here. This is what we're
Restorer of the faith.
Anyway, so it is awesome to talk to you. There's a couple of things contextually that the audience should know. One is, if you heard, we'll probably have to cut some of the other chit chat, but about Matt and Gabe connecting, because Gabe, in the early stages of the first sales tech revolution, Gabe was at the forefront. At InsideSales.com turned whatever the new name was. I don't remember. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be sarcastic, but maybe a little bit.
I blocked it out. I wasn't there at the time, so I don't.
I just remember it was yellow. It was yellow.
Yellow and black.
And then Gabe went to Kustomer, which was a great success. Now you were still like a media presence then, but like it was less in my sort of comfort zone.
We had, they shut us down as we got towards that acquisition. I mean, they said you can't say anything. So I literally had to shut up for 2 years, two
and that's got to be hard for you. And then now, dude, you're coming in hot. So I'm pretty sure this episode is going to be ridiculous, man. Wow. Just bomb dropping on LinkedIn. And there's a combination of things that's really interesting. One is Gabe is a good writer and talker and a strategic thinker, but also the rise of LinkedIn as, the platform to get to the world is also in play here. So it's great to have Gabe Larsen on the transaction. Bam. Wow. Here he is.
Syllable by syllable. I like it.
I try to slow it down, speed it up.
That was an introduction. I love it.
We try.
Yes. Well, man, it's part of a point of pride for us. So, so look, we got two sort of parts to the show. One is like we ask you to tell us a story, a go-to-market story, fun, funny, heartwarming, miraculous hero story, whatever you want to do there. We leave it open. Yeah. And then the second part, we'll talk about the, 1 to 3 things that you're seeing working today in this changed go-to-market landscape. And that's it, man. That's the structure of the show. And we just like to have a conversation, have fun, and you're fun. And so it's great to It's great to have you on. So the first one I'll set you up for, which is tell us a story.
Yeah. Oh my, can it just be, is this just one story? Cause I mean, I'm not a one guy. I'm like five, I got like multiple, but
let me tell you something. Hold on, Gabe, let me answer that for you. If we filled the whole show with stories, we'd be happy. Our issue is that a lot of people struggle with the story. We knew you wouldn't, but like, so go. Just go and have some fun.
It's so funny when you sent that to me. I'm like, I'm having this moment. I'm like sweating thinking about all of these times where I've like totally screwed up, and it was actually a really bad thing you've done to me. But I'll give you a couple. You know, I was thinking my very first sales job, I'm thinking this is like, I come out of school, I'm an SDR, I'm trying to do 150 dials a day. Like, I mean, I got hair on my freaking chest, you know, cold calling back in the day. And I remember I got one deal. It was my very first deal. I'm in a company called Sales Team Automation. You haven't heard of it, and you shouldn't. It was bad, but
Great company.
Huge company. The oracle of its time. Yeah.
Oracle of its time. Doesn't matter. I get this deal, and if Michael's listening, he knows this is a true story, Craig. He wouldn't correct me. I'm selling a deal at a company called Arcona, and they do some sort of automotive something, and I work them. You know, I'm running through the whole process. I'm Bant and whatever we used back then, closing deals, taking names. Anyways, man, I get to the deal, and we didn't have DocuSign back then, so we put we put it in a whatever it was. I don't know what it was, Word or something. I send it over to him to sign, and I'm thinking, I got my sales deal. And somehow, I kid you not, and it's seriously, I got goosebumps just thinking about this. I feel so bad about it, but I spelled his name Michelle, and it was Michael. And I'll tell you what, like, you'd think the guy, I mean, he's now probably 53. I've talked to him about it 2 or 3 times. He lit into me, Craig. He didn't close the deal. He said, you know what? This is a lesson for you. I will never sign with your company. This is a mistake that I want you to live with for the rest of your life. And you'll never do it again. You'll never do it again. I ended up not closing the deal. I've never misspelled anything, I think, on a contract in the next 20 years. But I'll tell you what, Michael, if you're out there, you son of a...
yeah, we'll cut that.
Oh man, Michael.
Okay, before we go to the next story, I'd like to dig in on a couple things. So one is the 53 thing. Is Michelle/Michael, does that make him old? Because guess who else on this call is 53? And it's not Sam. Yeah. Oh, you're putting him. Oh, thank you for that clarification.
I was just,
Gabe's 28. Yeah. So like, we don't even know, but yeah, the Michelle thing, that is amazing. I wonder, by the way, if there's so many more mistakes today, and there's a lower threshold like than there was back then. You didn't make that. I mean, I don't know how far back this was, but like,
I mean, we're probably 2002 to 4, 2005, 2004, 4.
Yeah.
4.
Wow. That is amazing story. But yeah, I mean, I have, as you guys can imagine,
can you believe he never ended up closing it? I mean, look, the thing I can think about is like, I get it. He read me the riot act and he, gave me crap, and I get it, but to not come back and do the deal, I mean, I still feel like that was a mistake.
My mother didn't go through 72 hours of labor for you to call me Michelle.
Is Michael Michelle? I hope he listens to the show because this thing is going viral.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Huge. All right, go. Let's go. That was an amazing story. So, well, actually, that was the other thing I was going to tell you. Perfect. That was a great story. We love stories, man. That stuff is our favorite stuff. So just
you're gonna hate this one, man.
Okay,
this one.
We hate it already, but yeah, go
this
ahead.
one had a better ending. I was thinking. I mean, I actually have other. I mean, sometimes names. I guess I pronounce them wrong, but this one was one of those classics, sales kickoff, company kickoff things. And I'll tell you, my experience. Someone always gets fired at the sales kickoff. It's just
not a good sales kickoff if someone doesn't get fired.
So, no, I was this close to being one of those victims. I'll just cut right to the chase. don't know what I was thinking on this one. Look, this isn't drunk. I mean, I'm a bad apple when it comes to karaoke. I've got my jam, so don't think I can't sing. But when sales kick off, I'm in New York, and man, I hope this doesn't go too far. But we have this casino night at the company. That's one of the SCO things that's a little more traditional.
Yeah.
And oh, God, what was I thinking on this? It's not that bad, but God, it was so stupid. Anyways, casino night. And after casino night, the company kind of gathers around. There's some music playing. And there's, the fake dancing kind of going on. It's so awkward sometimes at these things. You're like, should we dance or not dance? Right. And I should have just tucked myself in and called it good night. But anyways, the crowd's kind of gathered around. And I think it was the CEO who was, he was like, he was taunting some of the groups. He was like, marketing, sales, like, come on, man, get out there on the floor or something. Well, he does it to marketing. He says, marketing, get out on the floor and do your dance. Or like, make it fun or something. So some of my team, gets out and they're like kind of dancing in this circle and people are around, it's a fairly big group. And I'm like, just, avoiding it a little bit. And anyways, my team is like, Gabe. Then they started like chanting. They're like, Gabe. How do you not do something when they chant?
You got to do it.
No, so anyways, I get out on the dance floor and I'm like, what do you even do? Like, how do you even dance?
I don't know where this
So for some reason, I start dancing a little bit, and then I kid you not, I take my shirt off.
Oh boy. Ooh, shirtless.
This is shirtless, Gabe. And I faked like I was gonna do the pants. I only faked it.
Tearaway pants. Tearaway pants is the move there.
But I'm out there and I've got this, I'm abnormally hairy, I've got hair kind of all the way, it just kind of goes everywhere.
Oddly enough, I knew that about you.
I remember seeing
that was a fun fact I should have included in the intro. Yeah.
See the CEO, I see the head of HR, and they are just aghast. They are just thinking, what are you doing? You're stripping down. And I'm trying to do that thing on the floor, I'm
the worm, my man. Oh.
It just goes from bad to worse. Anyways, I obviously the heat of the moment, most people are shocked. Some are laughing. I get up. It's kind of awkward. I end up having a conversation with the CEO out. I mean, I did retain employment, but I think I was on the cusp. Thankfully, I wasn't drunk. I could just say this was just me being me, but, it ended up being a pretty embarrassing story. So watch out for SCO. Don't take your shirt off. You could be fired. That's the moral of the story here.
You know what? This one, I will say, in today's world, taking off your shirt is probably the tamest thing you will do at SCO.
Yeah.
By the way, my first SCO, you guys, it might be different because I was drunk as hell. I was like 4-year-old inside sales. I'm like, wait, it's free? I'm like, dude, just like, yeah. And so, but it was my first real job. I was a teacher, and then I went into sales, and I was like, oh my God. And
classic transition.
I got the SCO was day 3 of my employment. Day three. And so they had a band, and I'm a fun guy. I just got on stage with the band, and I'm like up there, and I'm pretending to play the guitar, and I got this huge grin on my face. I just remember this. My buddy still tells the story. He's like, Rosenberg's got this shit-eating grin on his face. He's just up there thinking he's badass. And I just see him. He sees his new boss. And this is me. I look over. My new boss is just staring at me like this. And he just goes. And I'm just like, this is bad. I got off stage and I was like, oh, my God. I remember calling my dad, just going, Dad, I think I've already been fired, right? The guy didn't talk to me for a week. He never actually closed the loop. He never said anything. He just didn't talk to me for a week and kept going. Yeah. He's still a buddy.
Look,
yeah.
These are. I got one more. I got one more. I'm gonna throw out there, Craig, because you just. I mentioned one more because now I said you brought up memories. They're just painful. I'm gonna hit this.
This is a therapy session.
I had the same, I'm going for this interview, I'm younger. This is younger in my career. I'm out in San Francisco. We're at this place and it was the best restaurant I've ever eaten at, and I'm with this potential boss and we'd done the interview all day. And again, I'm young here, right? And so we got a group of us, and I really wanted some extra. What were they? They were dim sum. Oh, was this? But I knew if I ordered extra dim sum, like I think that would have made the guy mad. It was like they were ordered for everybody. So what did I do? Like a total. I say, I'm going to the bathroom. I find the waitress. I say, I need a couple extra things of dim sum coming to the table, dude. So I go to the bathroom. The dim sum comes. I'm sitting next to the guy, and it comes, and the lady's like, "Here's your extra dim sum." This boss, this partner at a company, looks at me. He's like, "Where did this come from?" And I'm just like, "I don't know."
They just like
you got
me.
busted.
I didn't get the offer. I'll tell you that.
Oh no, dim sum
Offer.
gate.
You know what? I blame them.
I was
though.
interviewing for KPMG or Ernst, one of the big four, and you know what? Forget that. Forget you.
Yeah.
I didn't want it anyway.
I you know
did
what?
want the dim sum though.
I did want it.
Yeah, I still. Did you get the dim sum? I mean, were
got
you
it.
able to eat? Okay, good.
And I mean, it was like heavenly dim sum. Like, guys, there's dim sum, and then there's heaven. It was worth it.
Was that in the early or mid 2000s?
Yeah, that would have been probably 2008, 2010.
Yeah, it was probably Yang Sing. That's where all the folks used to take everyone to their dim
all
sum.
those recruiting. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Anyways,
I love those stories. See, you nailed it.
It's been amazing. It's amazing I've gotten this far. I don't even know if I'm far, but man, it's amazing I survived those 10 years.
Still above ground, baby.
I love it, man. All right, so cool. So you got a lot on your mind according to your LinkedIn, unless ChatGPT is writing those things for you.
ChatGPT can't write that. I'll tell you that. It can't write. It can't write that.
Yeah, you're on fire.
You're on, Sam Altman.
But the show was sort of founded on this idea that Matt and I had come to the realization that things had weren't just changing, they changed. And it was, and we're all in this sort of the new ways that we do everything, strategy, people, process, technology, tactics has changed. So that's why we did the show. And so we want to focus on, the three things you believe that, or have seen work today, or we should be thinking about. And let's just go from there. Let's see where you go, dude.
Well, man, I mean, guys, I get angry on some of these topics. Like I get so passionate, I get angry.
Angry?
Well,
angry?
It's I've been doing some of this stuff and I'm tired of it not working and I'm tired of it. And so when I speak about it, I do get a little bit passionate, but one of the things, maybe I'll start here because I think this one's more actionable than some of the others I've been ranting on, but I'm tired of ABM. I'm just tired of it.
I love hot take.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, when people bring it up, I say, you're old school. Don't talk to me. I don't want you in the same room. I'm not interested. I'm just like, it bugs me, And the reason for it is, well, do I need a pause? Because I didn't mean to be so dramatic.
No, keep rolling.
What?
Okay.
Well, we're trying to do a show here, man. Dramatic.
I'm sorry.
That's what we want.
Hot takes. Maybe I offended, but anyways.
Well, you may have offended Matt.
No. I was thinking it might have offended Craig.
No, well, Matt, you're ugly.
Offended.
You're ugly.
Okay, good. All right, that was better.
Now you're offended. No, look, I mean, I've been trying to do ABM for a long time. Personalization, net fishing, spear fishing, and this spend this much per account and that much per account. I just feel like I feel like the death of ABM. I guess that's a little maybe trendy to put death. It just feels like we need to move beyond that kind of concept. And what I've been seeing work now more is, I think, an evolution of ABM, because I still think ABM, you talk to 100 people and nobody even knew what you meant. It was still, you send in mailers, you do an anonymized website visitors, again, some sort of net fishing. I feel like it got pretty confusing, but the thing I've been liking more is this evolution into signals, signal-based marketing. And I think there's something there where people are going to see the next evolution of marketing. If you take the idea of signal-based marketing and you bring in agentic agents, some sort of agents, man, I think there's some powerful examples there. And so one of the things I've been experimenting a lot with different clients I've been coaching and working with is that idea is let's take the idea of, ABM. Let's just see if we can put it to the side for a minute. Let's focus first on signals, and let's see if we can identify, your top 15 signals. And you can use tools for this. I know Clay, I think Clay and some of these tools have maybe missed the boat just a little bit by going so far into the signal-based movement, but that's a conversation for another time. But let's go there. You need to find your top 5 signals, website visitors, job change alerts through, user gems or whatever it is. But if you stop there, you've lost. And I do think too many of us have stopped there, Craig. I think we've all started assembling signals, and we got a database now where maybe we're bringing in, technographic, firmographic, whatever it is. And for the first time, we are capturing these things better than we've ever captured before. But guess what we're doing with it? The same damn thing we did in ABM. We're slacking our sales team. We're putting it in flat. We're emailing sales reps and saying, hey, guess what? Somebody's on our website. And it's like, oh no, I thought we were going to make the move, because again, ABM loved that. It was all about finding stuff and then slacking sales rep who never did anything with anything. And so we never saw any value from it. But the signals-based movement brought all of this information into one quote unquote database. And then what do we go do with it? For the most part, I think we go back to slacking sales teams. So that gets kind of frustrating for me. But I think what agentic marketing is allowing us to do is it's taking some of these amazing signals that we're finally capturing, and then we're able to program these agents omni-channel. If you're talking to me about an AI SDR who does chat, I'm just like, shut up. Like, that's not an AI. You got to give me an omni-channel. That's what an SDR is. So I want text, I want email, I want social, I want phone, I want chat, sure, but it's table stake. But then take those signals and let me action it agentically. And boy, I mean, I've got some great little examples, where I'm starting to see the power of signals with the power of an execution layer come together. Not in all places, like outbound SDRs, I still think we're just spamming people on email. So that's not working as well. Cold stuff isn't working as well. But if you've got warm signals, certainly lead response stuff, no brainer. But if you've got people going to an event, if you've got those website visitors, if you've got some strong signals like job change alerts, then you can agentically then follow up on that, maybe via email, maybe a phone call. I think there's something there. And I think that's powerful because you bring in a personalization that we haven't had. So I love that. I love this, ABM. I thought I saw ABM. I thought we were going to go all in on signal-based marketing. And we went so fast to agentic-based marketing that I think we missed that beautifulness of signal-based marketing, and we're now in this agentic marketing. But the combo of signals and agents, there's something there.
I agree with you. So here's what I'm seeing a lot of times.
But go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I like it. I see a lot of people, a lot of marketing teams who are surfacing these signals because they're using Clay or they're using some other combination of tools. And they're just going like, hey, Gabe, here's a lead for you. It's Craig. He works at a company called Scale, and they recently had a CTO job change. He's been on the website. They recently took a round of funding, obviously not Scale, but somebody like that. And they're just saying, go get it. Right. And to me, that is the job is 10% done from a marketing perspective. Back in the intent days when intent was super hot, not like the signal time, but let's rewind the clock to 2016.
Yeah.
Companies were just saying, hey, this company hasn't, vendors would say this company has intent, have your sales team go call it. And at that time, I was really railing that hey, no, marketers, that's your signal to begin a marketing program, whether that's account-based, direct mailers, ads, whatever, just however you do it and think about it, just, go unload the clip from a marketing perspective. And I think the same holds true now, which is hey, if the signals are there, instead of just throwing it over the fence and saying, hey, salesperson, look at all these things that are happening at the company, they have no idea who we are or what our value proposition is, but you just go get it because those signals seem right for us. Again, it always feels so self-serving, and it's not serving the customer at all. Whereas you could say, hey, these signals are happening. Now the marketing team's going, full court press. It's hey, here's everything that we do, whether that's coming in the form of like thought leadership, whether it's like a webinar, whether it's a personalized report or something like that. Like, hey, get to know us and what our value prop is before we hand over to salespeople. And I think most people are in the, sort of first camp. There's very few people that are in the second camp. And this is why I get excited about your idea of combining the signal with the agentic. And my question, although I'm going to let Craig disagree here.
Oh, we don't need Craig. We don't need Craig in this. You just keep.
My question is like, how are you seeing the agentic workflow come together? Is that an application that people are using? Are they just using like, an enterprise version of ChatGPT or Claude or something like that? Like that to me, I think is the piece where people will say things like, okay, great, this is a signal to do agentic marketing, but most people don't know how to do agentic marketing. Either they're using their own LLMs, they're using an LLM from a vendor, et cetera. So that's where I'd like to get to, but I know Craig wants to disagree.
No, go. Feel free. I would say you said you've seen a bunch of examples, so like something like that. Like go with Matt's question. I will. I'll come in a moment.
Okay. Yeah, Matt. I think this is one of my other kind of. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think the market's separating into builders and buyers, and I think we're establishing more buyers. And what I mean by that is you're looking at somebody who took a real deep journey, as deep as I could into ChatGPT and Gemini, and then I got real deep into Make and N8N and Zapier to see if I could build my own agentic flows. And nah, I ain't doing it. I ain't gonna go down that path. They're brittle. Those guys on LinkedIn who are creating N8. I mean, look, I'm sure there are people better than me, but I built my own page-long N8N diagrams, and they're complicated. Again, I then changed something in HubSpot, and guess what happened? The whole domino thing came down. And so I don't think your quick answer is like, I don't see people building. There will be building these little agents that are going to do it. I think they are going to look to the new age tool vendors because, again, in the modern AI world, tools are gone, teammates are in. Yeah. That's going to remember that one. Tools are gone, teammates are in, and they're going to be hiring these agentic entities to basically do what I thought has just been a big miss in the ABM world is we capture signals and we weren't getting enough out of them. And now you're going to go hire an agentic agent from new tool, none of the old tools, all the new tool, the new kind of group that's coming up. And you combine that new entity with the signals data, and maybe there'll be a combination, but that's how I think you're getting there now even. And I think we're early in that stage, but it won't be a build. It'll be a combo of a signal-based entity with a hired agent, or again, I've been using the term cloud employee because I think agents are deterministic and task-based. Cloud employees are autonomous and job-based. A big difference there we're starting to see in the market as you humanize these agentic agents more. So again, hire, I use that word very, you don't rent a tool anymore. You hire the cloud employee. That's also something I think you're going to see more of. But that combo, a cloud employee now accesses that signal data and is autonomously then running through different flows, and we could talk through some of those to be able to action that data that is so amazing and so rich and just hasn't been utilized as much as we've seen, in my opinion, the last 10 years. Are we done? You guys done? Are we done? Or that was a...
well, it was good. I just was wondering if I could pipe in. Is that okay, Matt?
Oh, boy.
Does he always do this to you? Look at him. He's got a scowl on his face. Just jump in for heaven's sake.
He's having a good time.
Well, first of all, Gabe, first let me compliment you and then attack you.
Okay.
So one is, what makes this so interesting is I have literally never had a bad conversation with you. Never.
Oh.
In my life
until
you're one of the smartest guys. No, this is still a great conversation. Don't get me wrong. I just can't believe, like what you described is ABM. It feels like here's how you're defining ABM, passing things to sales. Let me tell you, I will tell you what ABM is. It's based on this idea that some accounts are better than others, and that data can help you decide that. That was true 10 years ago. Okay, you start there. There's ideal customer profile, and then there's things like signals that allow you to determine when. There's who. You do have to figure out who, because even if you get a bunch of signals from a parakeet shop, that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Right? And then 2 is multi-channel orchestration. It's not just handing it to sales. I don't know. That's just like, it should always be a combination of channels. And in my opinion, well, I can go into what I believe, and then I'll go back to complimenting what you said. And then, 3rd is there's, different metrics. You don't want to look at lead metrics and stuff like that. That's as simple as it gets.
Okay. No, I love it. May I respond? Can I jump in real quick, or do you want to go back to the compliment? I'll take the compliment.
Lots of permission. I like this.
Well, he's a nice guy. Please respond.
Yeah, I just, what you said is theoretically true. In practicality, having run marketing teams for a long time, I just don't think people did it like that. I mean, the original 6 Sense purchase was learning a couple intent and then running ads against somebody. The rest of the hocus pocus you said never happened. That was where I think we got stuck, Craig. There was a vision there, but I think oftentimes it stopped at personalized ads via some ABM platform. So I love your theory, but my gut is that most people didn't get there. They didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a good setup, because I noticed you said the word theory 3 times. You're a nice guy, so you did it calling it theory.
I like it when people say theorem.
You do?
Yeah.
You're a big fan? Yeah. Well, that's everything's on the table here in this conversation. So, what I would argue is, it was a provocative statement, but what I would argue is that you can actually do ABM today.
Okay. Okay.
And that at the end of the day, there's been a number of significant innovations. So one is signals. I love what you said there. That is a huge deal. And the ability to use data we've never used before is extraordinary. And I would argue there's recency signals. These are things that tell you should go talk to someone right now, right? Because it takes it away from cold, as you put it. That was well said. There's also the ability, what I would say is, using AI, the clays or whatever you want to use in the world, to go actually microsegment to people from a publicly available data set to really find the right types of accounts to go after as well. Both things are true, and both things are amazing. Number 2 is, with the advent of AI, in my opinion, there's certain signals that sales should reach out to right away, but I'm going to address that in a sec. In my opinion, marketing should own all of this until opportunity.
Yeah.
Because if you can take someone who has signals, and marketing owns the design of orchestration, and air cover sort of begins immediately, and there's other plays that sort of get unearthed, and you guys are better at looking at data. It's not sales' fault. Sales is just they're desperate for sure. People that won't say no, right? And so they're going to go, and so we do that. So you can also control this. The agent allows us to do, it's a better opportunity to do better message, better channel orchestration, better plays, and to look at it. So in my opinion, this is real ABM. So let me say though why you said what you said. Yep. One is ABM got hijacked by the vendors, because even 6 Sense, that wasn't ABM. I don't blame them. But intent was not ABM. That was a signal.
Intent plus ads.
Yeah. But ads were okay. But ads are part of the mix.
Sure.
But yeah, the data set, that, the intent was one of them. And by the way, that's not to bag on anybody on this show in terms of the vendors, but they hijacked ABM. And then sales also hijacked ABM. They called it ABS. By the way, in many ways, I blame the vendor community on that one too, and some of the consultants who just wanted to get in on it. And it's like, really, like that. It's like, and so it's still a mess. What it is. Yeah. Let's just talk about what works today. What you just said. I love that. Mm-hmm. See, I'm back to the compliment. Wow. Everything. The beauty of it was, I was hung up on the headline. But as you kept talking, I was like, that is just awesome.
Yeah, and that's just kind of like the LinkedIn play. I was trying to just be a little bit of a punk.
Oh, stop it. You don't have to defend yourself.
I'm trying to be a punk.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love what's happening now. It's exciting. This, and like, okay, the second thing, I'll give you guys some data, really interesting. So we just did 200, we surveyed 200 folks on go-to-market AI.
Yeah.
And we asked build, buy, like buy AI native, or buy AI from incumbents.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Where's that survey? Uh-oh, did it prove me wrong? Give it to me.
No, because you're talking about next 6 months, which we should talk about. Right now it's 30-30-30.
Wow. That's a great survey.
What happened to the other 10%?
Well, they're not doing well, it's 33-32. Yeah, good point. Thanks. Good point. We like to be precise on the transaction.
Specificity wins, baby.
But remember, that's, in my opinion, like we had Boscovich on, David Boscovich, which, I know you've never listened to the show, but like if you did, Gabe, there's a show with David Boscovich where he makes a really important compliment, which is he'd rather buy, but that the build is ahead of the buy right now.
It is.
What you can build better stuff today than buy. But as he said on the show, dude, if you can make what I built, I'll give you the money. You can have it because I want you to own the innovation. I want you to do these things.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things right now. I think it's hard to buy right now, and the vendors, in my opinion, are still on catch up.
Well, having done it, I think a lot of vendors are starting exactly where you would start normally. Again, they're building templates in Maker N8N, and they're basically packing that up, send it over. Very few companies, I think, are going to that true multi-agent platform like a Crew AI. Little shout out there where they're really being allowed to build more complex entities where you have managers and agents and some of the. So I feel like we are right there where I might as well build it if I'm just going to buy a make.com diagram basically that someone else built and it's fairly brittle. So I like that statement. But my gut is there. Having tried to build those entities myself, I think there's going to be more buying than I originally. If you would ask me 6 months ago, I thought it was going to be a generation of builders. I thought we were all going to have ChatGPT, and there may be that in some future, but I think the next multiple years are going to experts who have built fairly complex entities and basically securing those services like that. But
I'll give you another tidbit. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No, I want to interrupt you at this.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So second tidbit. By the way, well, actually, hold on. Pre-tidbit to the tidbit. I wasn't frowning. How? What? Wasn't
Who?
Me. You accused me of frowning.
Oh, no, I said scowl. I said scowl.
Oh, scowl.
He did say scowl.
There's a difference.
I do not scowl. This is the best time I have all week. All right. So here's
we both double circled this one.
Oh God! All right. So the one of the things the vendors have to realize. So I was talking to an analyst off record, so I can't tell you. I won't tell you who, but he was talking about how he was looking at talking to buyers who had switched from incumbent go-to-market tech vendors to frankly suboptimal. And he was saying, look, if you look at what the vendors did, it's like from 4 years ago, we wanted the vendors to tell us what they should do. Mm-hmm. Everything was templatized and rigid. And now they're incapable of providing the flexibility because they weren't built that way. And Now, I don't know if they're in cable. And by the way, everyone's going to try to guess who the analyst, but it's not who you think it was. That talked to me about this. And that sort of coalesced for me what I've been seeing. So we've been doing 4 or 5 interviews a week with folks that are doing go-to-market AI. And we are ready? This is the customization economy.
Yeah.
One of the reasons there's a gravitational pull to the build, and one of the reasons that people, despite what the New York Times put out, the agents are exciting to people is because it's for me. I can build what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And and so as we look to this next set of buying, can I buy the type of flexibility that I get from building, but you take it from here, you make it better, you own it for me, you support it for me. That's when buy really takes off, right? As the pendulum flips. But it cannot be rigid. Because like the stories I hear, these folks that are building stuff, taking gong calls and pumping them into Chat GPT and the output is whatever you want it to make. That's a big deal. Like that's the kind of flexibility that people like. If you're stuck in a way of working, right? That's going to be tough on folks in this new sort of AI world. So
yeah,
that was my last comment, Matt. I don't know what you thought of that.
I agree with you. I think that one of the things, but here's what we're missing. It's been a long time since a MarTech or a sales tech vendor had real perspective on the market.
You're looking at him.
No, I know. But like right now, there is this moment where I think somebody can come in either as a sales tech or as a MarTech vendor or something that does both and says like, this is the way you build agents. You can build agents with our platform. This is how you do it. You should be able to customize it to your business. The rigidity of old sales tech and MarTech, that didn't work well, but what did work well is they told you how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And like, you think back to my days at Marketo, you think back to the early days of HubSpot, it's like every day they're like, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Oh, you don't know how to do social media marketing? Here's how. Oh, you don't know how to do email nurture? Here's how. You don't know how to do lead scoring? Here's how. Yeah. Right. And I think because it's easier to say, well, with our platform, you can do anything you want. People have defaulted to that. And right now there's just too many go-to-market teams, sales, marketing, whatever it is, who are out in the woods. They don't have real direction on how to do this stuff, that a vendor can come in and absolutely nail it.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I think is some of the systems that we use don't have to go away. What you need is your own custom private LLM that sits on top of your CRM, sits on top of your marketing automation system, sits on top of whatever integration tools that you use, maps the entire environment, and then you can sort of tell it what to do, and it will build agents that perform those tasks.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
I think that is a great place to start. Do I think CRM as we know it is going away? I absolutely do. Do I think marketing automation as we know it is going away? I absolutely do. But there's a moment right now where you can get in and you can solve a lot of people's problems without having to necessarily disrupt the tools that they're super accustomed to and have a lot of lineage with. Like, this is coming from a guy who's been using Salesforce since 2003, right? Like, there's a scariness that comes with, hey, you don't need Salesforce anymore. Like, that's a little unnerving to me. But if you could just give me my own GPT or my own LLM that would sit on top of all my systems, and I can say, hey, I need an agent that every time there's a buying signal that looks like this, or every time there's a combination of buying signals that look like this, you fire an ad, you send an email, you create an invitation to a webinar, whatever, you invite them to a dinner. That is what I want in a big way. And I've not seen the tooling out in the marketplace to do that, other than what you explained earlier, Gabe, which I've been experimenting with, is how do I build it myself? Yeah. But I've had the exact same results that you've had, which is it is brittle as brittle can be. You change one thing and the cards just collapse.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's a lot. Let me just respond to a couple of those, because I do feel like, there isn't. I love that there's no perspective right now. That's so powerful. vendors are coming, and a lot of times they're no offense, college kids, super smart, and they're like, we can build you anything. And so it's like, we'll just build it for you. So I like that concept, and it leading, I think, some people astray. I like how you mentioned this word of like, maybe there's a vendor that's going to be across like sales and marketing. And what I believe is going to happen as we go forward is kind of the following. I see, again, I think you're going to see a lot of the traditional tools die away. And I do think new vendors are going to emerge. But the reason I think that is I'm believing that we're moving towards this idea of a real teammate type economy where there can be a vendor that says, look, again, in the past, I rented 1,000 different tools from 1,000 vendors. I just came from the customer service world, and we had BPOs where we hired hundreds of people for tools from a third party. And I'm seeing that kind of convergence happen where I think there's going to be vendors emerge where you're going to be Upwork for agentic agents, Upwork for cloud employees, and they will have perspective. You won't come to them and say, hey, I'm thinking about a tool that's like this. And you're going to come to them like you go to Upwork right now, and you're going to say, I need an AI SDR. I need a customer service. I need a front desk reception. I need a procurement. I need a blow. And they're going to have hundreds of templates in their marketplace of these agentic agents. And you're just going to secure, again, you'll hire those, which I'd love to get into pricing because I think pricing in AI is completely broken right now, but you're going to hire those agentic agents, and that's going to create something that we've never seen before, or we haven't seen since Salesforce. I think such horizontal plays. The people right now who are like, I do an AI SDR for SaaS company. Oh, wow, you're done. You're absolutely already gone. There's 1,000 of those. I've got companies who they offer that plus 50 other agentic templates already. Why would I go with you? Yeah. So you got RevOps leaders saying, Gabe, please, for the love of everything that's holy, I don't want to go back and have 72 vendors and 70 different tools. I want one agentic partner. And with that agentic partner, I want to hire 30 to 50 agentic personalities. You have the perspective because the template's already built. And now we move into this interesting concept again, where we're not renting tools, we're hiring agentic agents through cross-functional, cross-platform. I could hire the procurement, I could hire the recruiter, I could hire the AI SDR, all from one agentic partner. And I think, but that perspective has got to be there. But that means that they don't just come to me and say, build whatever you want. They say, I want the recruiter. And you say, I've got 1,000 people who've already bought the Upwork recruiter. Why don't you take this? It's slowly customizable. I think we got to go there because, man, again, back to the building concept, but I just got to say it. I talked to the CIO. He said, Gabe, I can't have 1,000 builders running around my company. I can't let them have access. Every M8N needs access to Zendesk. And he's like, no. I will not allow builders. We have to have more security and procedures. So not every marketing person can build some flow and connect the whatever system they want. He said, not in my neighborhood. No.
Awesome. All right. So we have 7 minutes. Is there any chance you can bring a number 2 in and home in the next 6 minutes so that at the end of your 6 minutes, we can make some funny?
I felt like that was 50. I've just been real passionate on pricing. Can I just say,
there you go. Look at that.
Yeah. I think AI pricing is it's absolutely broken. I just came from the customer service world, the intercoms, the Zendesks, and we all tried to go down this of price per conversation and price per resolution. And we called it outcome-based pricing. And I want to raise my hand as someone who did that and marketed it. It is a lie. I know it is a lie. You know it's a lie. A price per conversation, that is not an outcome-based pricing. And I'll tell you what, we confuse so many CFOs. Gabe, can I get standard pricing? I need to have a budget. Well, it's price per conversation. What's a conversation? What's a resolution? Well, I have my definition of a resolution. What's your definition? Well, they're different. Well, how do I plan for that? Well, you can't plan for that. Well, I'll use your platform for a couple of weeks and see what I'm using. And then could I lock into something? Well, what if I go? It's messy out there, you guys. This taking tokens from LLMs and then passing that on in some price per conversation. I'm using customer service just as an example because I lived it, breathed it, and died there. It's absolutely broken. Customers hate it, vendors hate it, and it absolutely is not working.
So what should they do though?
My belief is that you're going to move to, you're going to hire agentic agents, and they will be salaried based employees in your company, and they will come with a series of characteristics, like a normal employee does, and you'll be able to more or less be able to hire them based on a salary concept.
That I'm so glad, because I thought you were going to stammer and say, well, I don't, you make something up, but that was a real answer. I love that. Not that you've stammered much, nor do I scowl, by the way.
Here's what I will say.
He's not going to let me scowl down. He's not going to let me live it down.
Well, now I'm scowling. Huh?
Yeah, he's gonna bring it up next time he sees you in person. But here's the thing, Craig.
Right?
I'm gonna have to lean it. I'm gonna have to say something. You're not a scowler. And I'm also going to have to say, Gabe, you're not a stammerer. So I just want to clear that up.
Thanks, man.
Before we move on.
Sorry? What'd you say?
All right. I've got a question as a follow-on to that. Obviously, people would want to hire a full-time employee, and their expectation will be, if I'm hiring an AI agent, that person doesn't have cost of living increases, like that person, is not subject to inflation. But we all know on the vendor side, like things do get more expensive. Whatever you're building that thing on, whatever you're running it on, like that's going to get more and more expensive. And we can't. We all have boards where NRR and NDR and all that stuff matters. Like, how are we going to, one, if we're pricing it on a salary basis, do they expect it to be half the cost of a normal employee?
Oh, I love that. I love that start. So couple things I jump in there. One is, if you're not doing in this new model 1/10, it's about 1/10 to 1/5 of the full-time employee, you're getting ripped off. So that's the numbers I'm seeing in the market. To manage costs, companies are going to be developing more in-house LLMs. Again, there's just too many tasks that are simple enough that you can build your own model. Then you'll basically have a layer that basically chooses which LLM I'll go to, and one of those. So that I think will help in cost. And then look, the nice thing about this model that's coming, I can see the future here, is it much like a manager and a senior manager and a director, you can supercharge cloud employees. If you think you want something more, you want something more advanced, you'd go hire a senior marketer, and their salary wouldn't be 15 to 18K a year, it'd be 30K a year. And guess what? You're going to get more value from them. And so when I look at these agentic agents, I'm seeing the 4 characteristics of a salaried cloud employee are usually the intelligence level, usually the communication ability, usually the knowledge bases, and usually the tool set they come with. And so, again, much like a current employee, you can get someone who's fairly cheap, or you could get someone who's more robust, and you will pay that for that level of expertise. And again, I think you can go pretty darn far. I mean, these type of agentic agents, you can supercharge the crap out of them, Iron Man style. But that's one thing to think about. Again, just because you have a salary at 15,000 or 10 grand, that's 1/10 the cost of an SDR. Doesn't you couldn't supercharge that and get a senior SDR and pay them 25 grand. And guess what? They're going to come with more tools and more expertise, just like you wouldn't your regular. So I think that's how we'll manage around it. I think that's how we're going to manage.
I got to tell you, that scares the crap out of me, but but I like it.
Why does it scare the crap out of you?
It's I mean, I don't know. It feels really weird. I like it.
Man, again, it might feel weird, but I'm telling you, having done 2 years in the battle zone of cost per BS conversation, it's such a nightmare that it may feel weird, but at least it's something that I feel like we can wrap our heads around and plan for.
Oh, I totally agree. I think just the change management for normal human beings to be like, yes, I'm salarying an AI is going to be wild, right? Like, just sitting across the dinner table with my wife and be like, what'd you do today? I'd be like, oh, I hired 2 people. And they're like, oh, great. Where are they from? The internet.
Well, look, Matt, that opens up the whole can, because I think as we move into this autonomous organization and how you manage cloud employees. I mean, I had a VC the other day tell me, Gabe, I've been using this new metric called ECE. I said, what's ECE? He said, it's employee to cloud employee ratio. No longer will I let my portcos have 200 employees and no autonomous employees. And so now I'm asking them to see, I want to see 100 and 100.
Yeah.
Man, the change management, how you hire it, the coaching ability. I have 3 cloud employees that report to me right now, and I do a once a week coaching session with them. I mean, this is the future of work has to change as we move towards that autonomous organization. And I think I mean, it's going to be interesting. People working side by side with cloud employees and then agents, and that autonomous organization. I think it's going to be fascinating.
Wow.
What a great show. What a great show. I didn't expect anything less. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got you on, bro. That was so good.
Or you have a baby, man. Geez, who would have thought 2 weeks early? Still was 10 pounds, though. I mean,
Nice. Wow. Is that your biggest baby? What?
Yeah, by far. We've got some 6-pounders and 10. This kid is like a goat. He's like a goat.
Man,
I love it. Let's get a football in his hand.
Yeah, quarterback.
Well, I got a basketball team. I got the Larsen family basketball team is alive and well. 5 boys. I mean, we're going to.
Oh, there you go. I like this. I like where this is headed.
Greg, it's awesome, man. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to just, shoot the shit a little bit.
Yeah, please come on again, Gabe. This was great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All righty.
We'll ping you and get you back on. All right, guys. That was it.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Transaction. Craig and I really appreciate the fact that you've listened all the way to the end. What are you actually doing here? For show notes and other episodes, please visit us at thetransactionpod.com. Like and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other place you get your podcast from. Either you have walked away from your podcast device, or this is playing somewhere in the background. Someone in your house would really like for you to shut this off now.